Hi everybody. My name's Anthony Dicopoulos. We finally got it right up here on stage, which is great, so thank you very much. I'm one of the managers down at the local DY Woolies, and we're proud to be sponsors of the Australia Day Ambassador Program, where we recognise people who represent the spirit of this great country. Our ambassador today is a local lad. He spent 7 years keeping families safe at one of our many fantastic beaches in this beautiful area. But you may know him from his time that he spent cooking up a storm on MasterChef. He continues to pursue his dream of travel, riding, cooking, and who knows when we're going to see him on the telly next. So please join with me in giving a warm welcome to this year's local Australia Day Ambassador, Hayden Quinn. I'd just like to present Hayden with a pin from Woolies recognising his contribution.
Good morning everyone, and thank you. What a great honour it is to be named the Australia Day Ambassador for this area and the area which I grew up in. I'd like to particularly thank Anthony and Woolworths for their support of the Australia Day Ambassador program. It sort of reaches far and wide throughout Australia, and they take some pretty special Australians to some pretty amazing places. I was lucky enough to come here and not have to move too far at all. So I suppose welcome to all, both residents and visitors alike. I know for some they have their name engraved in particular spots around the beach, over at the pool, at the surf club, on the steps, in the cafes, and even people lucky enough like myself to have his own little spot engraved over there in the lifeguard tower. I told the boys to wave and laugh and do the rest of it, but I don't think they can hear that far away, so make sure you go and say hello to the boys and girls working on the beach today. They're the ones that are going to be keeping you safe and making sure everyone's having a good time. So I'm very lucky to have spent a long time in Warringah. I've grown up here my whole life, and Australia and the place we live is a very, very beautiful part of the world. And for those who are just visiting and experiencing DY and Warringah for their first time today, it's not usually this wet. Australia Day is normally a beautiful time of year, and we get to really enjoy the sun and the surf. But make sure you etch your name in a little spot on this beach, just like the locals do, because this is one of the most amazing parts of the world. It's in the most amazing country on the planet, and I know that for sure because I've done a fair bit of travelling, and every time you fly in on that Qantas plane and land in Sydney Airport, it's a very, very special feeling, and one that you can't replace anywhere in the world. I suppose I had a little introduction before, but for those of you who may not know me or have seen me around, I'm sure a lot of you have because I get around DY a fair bit. My name's Hayden Quinn. I've lived in the local area my whole life, been an employee of Warringah Council for the past 7 years, as Anthony just mentioned. Lucky enough to be sitting on a beach for a job, which is not too bad, and I'm sure a few people wouldn't mind that. And I suppose things have become a little bit more interesting and people more interested in myself since that crazy show, MasterChef. And for that I'm truly blessed and happy, and it really was a great part of my life. I suppose I'm very passionate about my country. I'm passionate about its people, about the ocean, food, and of course sharing stories and tales of other countries and cultures that are out there, and letting them know how good we have it here at home. For me, growing up in Australia, and particularly in this part of the world, has really made me the person that I am today. Being surrounded by incredible people from all walks of life, that gives you the opportunity to learn and grow from an array of different cultures, different people from many walks of life, young and old, wise and sometimes not so. The Warringah Council area is a particularly multicultural one, and I think that this is a part of what defines who we are as a people. It sometimes feels as if you don't have to travel too far to experience a whole nother world, but still be in this beautiful country we call Australia. The Vietnamese bakery up the road, the butcher down the street that still houses that same Aussie bloke you grab your snags from, the Korean supermarket that provides me with interest for hours and hours on end when I'm rolling around there. You know, that little Italian deli that you go to and pick up your pasta or your salami or your nice little bread rolls. And of course, how can we forget our Brazilian brothers and sisters that spend hours and hours sitting on the beach. It's a special part of the world, and you definitely don't have to go too far to realise that. and it's definitely a part of the world that I want my kids to grow up in. For me, Australia Day is all about acknowledging our past while also looking towards the future. Later this afternoon, we'll have 80 new Australians in the Ringa Council area, and I think that these 80 people are some of the luckiest people in the world for becoming an Australian citizen. Welcome to Australia. Enjoy this day, make it special, stay dry, have fun, and most of all, love being Australian, because I definitely do. Thank you.
Thanks, Hayden. What a great Australia Day ambassador. Let me shake your hand.